Hello, my name's Sue and I'm from Hobbycraft in Carlisle. Next we're going to go on to crazy quilting. This is a technique you can use to create a unique pattern using fat quarters. If you'd like to join along with this project, the materials you'll need are a pack of fat quarters, some 2-ounce wadding, some fabric of any colour, some scissors and your sewing machine. The first stage is to prepare a wadding sandwich. So you need 2 pieces of fabric and a piece of wadding cut the same size. Next, choose a pack of fat quarters. I'm going to use these nautical ones today. What we want to start with is just a little square. You don't have to be too exact. That's what crazy quilting is all about. And we're going to sew that into the middle of your sandwich. Sew all the way around. Between every step, we're going to press the work. So for the next part, I'm going to take the next fabric and you measure it against one of the sides, any side, give it a snip, and we're just going to cut a random shape with straight lines. So that piece of fabric now fits on there. What we want to do is sew it front to front down that line. So you just continue working right round in the same manner until the whole piece of fabric is covered. Don't worry if you come off the edges because we'll be trimming it up later. And continue. Iron down that last piece, and now we're going to turn it over and give it a trim. So there's your crazy quilted panel. So I'm going to make a small mat out of this, and I need to cut a piece of fabric the same size. We're going to put front side to front side. I'm going to sew it all the way around, leaving a gap so we can turn it the right way in. We're going to trim off any excess. And now we're going to turn it the right way in. So from here you could either make it into a placemat and just put a nice edging on it with your sewing machine, or you could stuff it and make it into a little cushion and just hand sew the edge up afterwards. Next, we're going to go on to English paper piercing patchwork. If you want to join in with this project, the materials you will need are some A4 card, a pack of fat quarters, a needle and thread, some scissors and your sewing machine. So to prepare your pattern, take a sheet of A4 card and divide it off into 6 sections. Next, we're going to cut out all those sections and you'll end up with 6 template pieces. The next thing you need to do is have a cut template. So these will be your templates for your fabric, but you also need a template to cut your fabric. So you take a template piece, you don't have to be too exact, but cut it about 1 centimetre all the way around. So you'll end up with a piece of card bigger than your first piece of card. So do that with all of your pieces, and now we'll start to cut. So you always cut your fabric from the bigger one because it wraps around the smaller one. So now we're going to attach it to the card. Face your number up so you can see which number it is as you go along. So I'm going to use a contrasting thread and nice big stitches. Put 2 or 3 knots in the end of your thread. Fold the fabric over the card. We'll go straight through the card. And really nice big stitches because this will make them easier to pluck out later on. I'm going to sew this fabric all the way around onto the card. just do a couple of little stitches over themselves to finish and trim off. So as you can see, you don't have to be too fussy with that one, you're just getting it attached. So do the same with your number 2 piece, and now we're going to sew them together. So this time you need a thread that blends in. We'll hold the pieces front to front, and we're going to stitch along this edge with really tiny little stitches. Now as you go, be careful not to pierce the cardboard, because that'll make it really difficult to get out later. So you just want to catch the fabric on both sides and work across. Tiny little stitches, fabric only. So this takes a little while, but keep your stitches nice and neat and small. When you get to the end, just do 3 or 4 stitches all on top of each other to secure. And you can actually leave your thread there, take your needle out, just leave your thread there for when you need to stitch another edge. Okay, so that's pieces 1 and 2. What you need to do is, going back to your original design, is put them all together. You will end up with a panel like this bottom piece here. So when you've got all 6 pieces sewn together, you can now put it into your work and you sew it on in the same manner, up the side, across the top. Using this technique, you can make your piece as big or as small as you want it to be. So one of the jobs you're going to have to do as you go along is remove the card. This makes it easier to work, but you can't move any card that has an edge. They have to be fully surrounded by other pieces of card before you can take them out. So I'm going to go ahead and take this piece out. So those big stitches that you put it in with, just give it a snip, pull all the stitches out, and you can go in, take the card, and that template can now be used again for another piece. Just tidy that up by removing all those red threads. So once you've got these other panels in place, you need to think about how you want to finish it. You might want to wad it and back it, or you might just want to edge it. That's up to you. So what we've done today is 4 things using fat quarters. So we've made bunting, we've done a lavender stuffed heart, some crazy quilting, and some English paper piercing patchwork. For more information on the products we've used today, visit the website or pop into one of our stores and talk to a colleague.